Ifingawan daun, ibibigay mo kasayan jika berasal dengan tokat tekan teman.
I'm Jason Brown with Laughing Parrot Productions, and you're watching Skippable News. Here's this week's top stories you can find at sierrawave.net. The BUHS mathletes are on fire, not literally. The Inyo County Sheriff's Department informs us about a fast-track text phishing scam. The Missoula Children's Theater performance is this weekend. Mono County recognizes Deb Bush as the 2024 Community Spirit Award winner, and Death Valley Park Rangers rescue a man from a steep gully. Oh, and there are a lot of sports. In this video, we interview an after-school student who does news for us in Lone Pine. His name is Julian Montgomery. Then we have Jonathan Hogan from HHS to tell us about the Life Night Out that is happening in February. And then we are honored to have the City of Bishop Mayor Karen Kong. Please forgive Jimmy's cheesy intro. At the end, we have what's new at Bishop Twin Theater. And then, as always, thanks for watching. Since 1996, we are your local resource for news, sports, and culture. And these are the people who shape it. Enjoy. I'm Jason Brown, and I'm sitting with Julian Montgomery. Julian Montgomery is a part of our after-school program down in Lone Pine, and he does radio news down there. We're really excited to have him. Julian, hi, how are you today?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
Just pretty good.
Well, I mean, it's been finals week this week, so I'm a little tired, but...
Ooh, and you still came up here to be a part of this.
Yeah, I was pretty excited about it.
Wow. Well, of course. It's fun hanging out, doing things. But you're also expecting a very important call.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, somebody's going to help you out. Julian's also designing a computer game. He's really into Python coding and things like that as well. So you want to tell them like what Python coding even is?
So Python is a programming language. There's quite a few languages like that have been developed just so that people don't need to get a master's degree in computer science just to program things, because you used to have to be able to understand binary, which is just a bunch of ones and zeros.
Yeah.
So to make it easier on the general public to program, they've made languages like Python, and it's pretty fun actually. It's not that hard to learn.
No? And what's the game about that you're developing?
It's, in simple terms, it's about like a wind spirit who's living in Sky Islands, and an ancient portal, I guess, is reopened to a place where a lot of like evil, malicious corruption was sealed away a long time ago in an old war.
Wow.
And it's all released, and so you get completely knocked out and plummet to like the very lowest level of the Sky Islands, and you wake up, you kind of learn the mechanics, you recover a really old sword, one of a kind, that can actually turn into, it's just a hilt, can turn into multiple different weapons, and you try and work your way back up to try and save your home and cleanse the corruption.
And you're writing that all with Python?
No, actually it's in C# in a program called Unity.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, he does that in his spare time. On his other time, he does reporting for us. How's the reporting been going for you?
Pretty good.
You enjoy it?
Yeah, it's really fun.
You were all over that fire.
I was all over that fire. So far, it seems like mostly I've done kind of sad stories, but you know, the road's a happy one at least. So,
yeah, it is. Well, news isn't always, you know, happy.
Yeah, no. But yeah, so it's been really fun getting used to the recording part of it and just kind of seeing how it all works.
So what got you involved and excited about being a part of our program here?
Well, I first kind of met you when you repaired my mom's computer.
Okay,
and then I found out you did the news eventually.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, one way or another, we found out that you had an after-school program, and I thought, hey, you know, I already have a bunch of things I'm doing in my spare time, but why not just add another one? So
yeah.
And
we did. You were in our
the
film school in the summer down in Lone Pine 2 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad to have you. We enjoy your voice, and your presence on the radio is really excellent, just so you know. And if you haven't heard them, you need to start tuning in. We do the news locally on Monday through Friday, 7, 8, noon, and 5. And when Julian comes on, it's usually a Monday episode, but he might expand that just if he finds something that's exciting and he wants to share. He is welcome anytime to just let me know I have something coming your way.
Yeah.
Anything you want to share with the viewers?
Well, I've got some really exciting news for anybody who's a fan of the high school sports team in Lone Pine. We're getting a brand new basketball court.
Ooh, breaking news.
So it's such an old building that one of the main water lines leaked beneath the court and completely warped all the wood. So now we're getting a new court.
Well, you'll have to put together a radio story on that.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, cool. Guys, this is Julian Montgomery. He does a wonderful job doing news for us down out of Lone Pine. We're really excited to have him. We've got some other students that we'll be showing you in the next upcoming weeks. But thank you, Julian. We appreciate it. Keep up the good work.
All right, I'll try my best.
You do your best all the time.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jonathan Hogan. I'm with Inyo County's Health and Human Services, and I'm a prevention specialist. This month in February, we're going to be holding our monthly Life Night here at the Quilter Consolidated Office Building. It'll be on February 6th. That's a Thursday. Registration will begin at 5. Events kick off at 5:30. We got stuff for the little ones, a play group for them. For the older kids, we have an agility contest. We have extended public health hours. We have senior support services again. And we'll also be serving dinner when everything is all over at about 6:30. If you want to find out some of the services we offer or have any questions for us, come and see us here on February 6th at 5:30 at the Quilter Consolidated Office Building here in Bishop. Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you.
This is Jimmy T with Eye on Inyo. Today we have the amazing Mayor Karen Kong, newly elected. Mayor Kong, she's very gracious. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
So the big deal is that the only time I talked to her before, she was doing her education thing. So now she has a part-time job as mayor. Tell us about the being part-time mayor.
Well, it's not part-time mayor, it's full-time mayor.
Full-time mayor.
I have 2 full-time jobs. So no, I ran for election in 2020 during COVID and was lucky enough to get elected and served for 4 years. And so then I ran again for re-election in 2024 and got re-elected. The mayor job is really, it just rotates through the 5 of us, and it just happened to be my turn. So here I am.
Does this mean you're on the top of the barrel or the bottom of the barrel?
No, it's just a barrel. It's just a line of all of us working together.
And for the last year, you were mayor pro tem?
Correct.
Mayor Garcia.
That's right.
So basically, he was doing the work, you were doing the administration part? How'd that work?
No, the reality of the situation is the mayor runs the meetings. If the mayor's not there, then the mayor pro tem runs the meetings. In addition, the mayor does things like more public appearances and signing more things.
Like the vice president go to the heads of state meeting where the president doesn't want to go?
Yeah, the city council is the city council, and we, as the 5 of us, make decisions that we think are best for the city. The mayor is really just, it's not like in a big city, hopefully I won't be blamed more than anyone else when something bad happens, if something bad happens. It's just a title that I'm happy to have, and I'm going to take full advantage of the best I can, but also is not really, no decisions are made by one person.
And the Bishop city government is better and different from anywhere else I've ever been. There's 5 guys, 5 personnel, guys and gals, just have 5 amazing people sitting there.
Yeah.
And they're working towards a common goal. It's not like, I'm working for this because I want my whatever. No, you're working together. It's a real pleasure to watch.
The benefit of local governments in theory and definitely in practice in the city of Bishop is that we're not beholden to anybody but the residents, right? And none of us have taken financial donations from big companies, and there's none of that nonsense that goes on in even bigger cities, let alone the nation. And so we really, it's a group of 5 of us who really truly want to do the best for our city and for the people in the city, and to make Bishop what it can be, and the best for everybody.
And the weird thing is it's echoed throughout the city employees.
We have some of the best employees. It's really kind of crazy, with in the world out there now where they're talking about bad employees and employees that don't want to come to work and new generation who doesn't want to work at all that nonsense that's out there in the world. We thankfully at the city of Bishop, we have the best people from the people who are do a much better job than I do on our lawns and everything else, to our public works director, to our city manager, to our financial guy who is a wizard with dollars, and manages to make it sound simple for someone like me who is maybe a bit math challenged. Our public works director is working on all these huge projects at one time. Our assistant planner, she is working on getting signs down. She's working on making sure that everybody is doing what they're supposed to be doing, as well as looking forward and working with regional housing people. And it just is remarkable how much work gets done day in and day out over there.
There's, by Amigos, there's a little bathroom where we talk about this before. It's always getting trashed. And when I go there, I see once in a while the guys are working on it. I go talk to them and say, thank you very much for this. Yeah, it's my job. I'm like, whoa, they got a great attitude.
Yeah. I just, you and I have worked in the world lots in our young lives, and you just don't see people with those sorts of attitudes. And I think that, there's always bad days and interactions that maybe could be better, but for the most part, the amount of dedication and love for the city that our staff has is just remarkable.
In another compliment to your amazing city employees, I forget what it was. I called to complain. Oh, I'm sorry, you're not talking to the right person. Hold on, I will get you connected to them.
Yeah.
As opposed to, sorry, that's not this office. Click.
Right. That because the staff is so small and so interconnected in everything they do, they look out for each other and they help each other, and it really is. I mean, I hate to hesitate to say a family, but it really is this tight-knit group of people who just are doing the best they can do with the best attitudes and for the betterment of everybody.
Now, you talked about this briefly. You said that water has kind of come up to the forefront because of what's going on south.
It's that horrific stuff that's going on down there, and all of those homes lost, and all of the Monday morning quarterbacking that's going on, and let's point the finger here and point the finger there. It's just messy. And I know that within the city, we do a really good job of checking our fire hydrants and making sure that that there's water and that there's water pressure, because that matters as well. What's interesting for the rest of the people to know is that every other place within the county of Inyo is completely beholden to their water districts to make sure the hydrants are working. They might have a hydrant in front of their house, but do you know if there's water there? And that's not me accusing anybody of anything. That's just, if it was my house, I would want to make sure. So if you're interested in, or worried about that, contact your water district. You should be able to have a contact number on the bills that you get, to make sure that they've done their checking, and so that everybody, houses can be as safe as possible.
And we were talking about the two-edged sword, water meters.
Yeah, so everybody has probably heard about the fact that the state of California is going to require water meters. I know on my end of the town in East Bishop, people are upset because the man Mr. Bishop, who donated the land to the city, said we'd never have to pay for water, and so it's one of those things. It's an unfunded mandate, as the government is often happy to do, and it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem for everybody across a lot of counties. The benefit of this bill, the thing nobody talks about, is that in the bill there's also something that requires water districts to make sure that they have good water pressure and that they have a certain amount of water in each of the hydrants. And so if we can just for a second ignore the water meter problem, which will be a problem, and focus on the fact that this bill also requires people to make sure that the hydrants are in perfect working order and in good shape.
Carrot and stick.
Correct, unfortunately.
No, that's
Well, and sadly, what happens often in government is that a bill will pass, and as media often does, is that they pull out. I know
the wart. There's a wart.
they pull. Yes, they pull out the bad, the stuff that's problematic, instead of looking at the good stuff in it. So
Now, we talked personally about her personal. She has 2 dogs. Tell me about your dogs, real quick.
okay, I have 2 dogs. If anyone's seen me walking around town, it sometimes looks like they're walking me. Working out good on the old lady arms. So I have a 4-year-old shepherd mix. Her name is Hannah. We got her from a rescue in Hesperia during COVID. And I have a 1-year-old Great Pyrenees mix that we got from a rescue in Texas, of all places. He's 95 pounds and is in my lap most of the time when I'm not up and around.
So he's a year.
He's a year old. Yeah,
He's 95 pounds.
he's 95 pounds.
So let me know when he passes 200.
Well, the vet thought maybe he'd be 120 when we first brought him, but he's kind of starting to slow down. So we're thinking maybe he'll just stay right there at the 100-pound mark.
Now, the other thing is that Mayor Kong has a secret announcement, a big, huge announcement that she can't talk about. So she said, would you come back and give us your announcement?
Absolutely. So for those of you who didn't notice, on our city council meeting on the 13th, City Manager Deshawn said, we have a big announcement coming. We can't tell you what it is, but it's coming. So I was thrilled because there's been a lot of secret keeping on our part that is difficult to do. And hopefully in the next couple of weeks, it will come about so we can talk about it and everyone can, dare I say, rejoice.
I really like how they have cliffhanger meetings. I've never seen one. That's just one. Hey, we've got something amazing. Next meeting. Stay tuned.
But, and that is an example of how badly we've been wanting to share this, because eventually it was like, no, we have to say something. So it's coming, I promise.
So we talked about how you actually have 2 full-time jobs.
Yes, I do.
Your real job. Now, you said it migrated more slightly.
So I work for the Inyo County Office of Education in my job that pays my bills. And I do wear a lot of different hats, do a lot of different programs in that. But one of the ones that I'm taking on this year is homeless youth. And the idea that sadly in all of our districts, we have homeless youth who are either living in motels or living in their cars or couch surfing. And so I'm working with the Methodist Church to figure out ways in which we can help those homeless youth. So
many years ago, I was a substitute teacher, and I didn't realize how bad it was when you had a child. The last name didn't match either of the guardians' names. And you sort of go, look, I didn't realize it was that bad.
Well,
they don't know we're going to sleep tonight.
Yeah, I think that it is, the numbers can be quite shocking when you hear them. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they're living alone. That sadly, sometimes it means the whole family doesn't have anywhere to live, or that they're living with, they're sharing a house with another family, those kind of things. And so one of the things I'm working on with the Methodist Church is the idea that maybe they can open up their regular shower days just for teenagers early in the morning before school when the other homeless are not there, and allow them to come and shower right there next to school, so it'll be easy for them and inconspicuous.
And yeah, I think that's great. I mean, life is all about the children. And when I asked you about the conflict of interest, is there any impropriety between the fact that you work for the county and then you're the mayor?
So far, no. So usually the formal way that conflict of interests happen is that things that involve money. And so, for example, if someone worked for DWP and was on the council, they couldn't vote for something that was DWP related. Yeah. Dennis, our newest council person, is the manager of Grocery Outlet. And so if there was something that involved the grocery outlet or the surrounding areas, he might have to recuse himself from that, which just means you step out. And you step out when they talk about it and when they vote. There has been nothing yet that I've had to worry about that way. And in reality, I really, truly try to separate the best that I can while keeping my values intact, the work that I do over here and the work that I do for the greater Bishop area and for all of the residents in the Bishop area. Because, we were talking about how hard it is to balance between what's good for this group of people and good for that group of people and good for the businesses and good for the visitors, and how do we mesh it all together to make one good decision. And that's why I'm so thankful that I don't have to do it by myself, that I have this group with me.
Yes. Which we were talking about how I was walking to work the other day, and there's a do not smoke and do not do drugs sign, and the guy was leaning against it, smoking his drugs. And you said there's great news.
So several months back, we passed an ordinance that our chief, Nate Durr, wrote with the help of our legal team to ban all smoking of all kinds, marijuana or tobacco, in all public owned areas. So that would be the city park, the sidewalks, those kind of things. You're not allowed to smoke when you walk any longer. And one of the things that was interesting about it, it's a great example of state versus local, is that in the state marijuana law, it already bans those things. It already bans walking. It already bans marijuana use in public in general. But that has either they didn't read it when they voted for it, or it's left their minds, or there are people who are now old enough who are smoking who didn't vote for it in the first place. And so having this local ordinance, it allows us to have local enforcement separate from what the state law says.
Yep. I'm trying to be circumspect, and whatever you do in the privacy of your home, that's fine. But whoa, I got a dose of secondhand whatever that was.
Yeah, it is, again, it's one of those things that it's not my job, or anyone's, frankly, to decide what people do in their own home. I draw the line at what is it doing for the city? What is it doing for the businesses? Is it the look that we want in the city of Bishop for the visitors that come? Those are the kind of things I look at when I make a decision like that.
It's kind of, you're looking for the rights of the majority to be able to breathe and not.
Yeah, it is so, I am so glad that there's a group of 5 of us, because those are decisions that no one person should ever make, that it needs to be a group of people who discuss it and really agonize over what they're thinking about it. And this is a great example. We talked about this more than once before we passed the ordinance, because there was some disagreements amongst us, and we changed some wording, and then we talked again and we changed some wording. And so yeah, we as a council really work hard to do the best we can.
Which in the old days it was good. You'd say, hey, don't do that. Now you can't do that. I mean, it's just be a rebel, except not in this little city park, okay? Not there.
And not if you're a child.
Not if you're. So congratulations on your mayorship. 1 year.
1 year.
Proxy.
Yep.
And it rotates, but it's just, I highly recommend going to the Bishop City Council meetings. It's fun to watch 5 guys or 5 people. I did it again. 5 people working towards a common goal of what's good for the people.
Yeah, our city attorney who has several different cities in the state of California, he tells us all the time that we have the most pleasurable meetings, because even if we disagree, and even if last meeting I disagreed out loud with one of our council people, and then he disagreed right back at me and said, hey, don't do that. And yet, we talked last night about his trip around, that he's going on next week. So I feel really grateful that my political life has been in this sort of setting and not in the kind of settings other people have.
So the secret announcement, I can keep a secret if you want to tell me.
No.
Okay. So you have an open invitation to come here.
Okay.
At City Council, we invited all the time, and most of them kind of don't respond to emails or phone calls.
Well, I think that it's a difficult position to be in, because we all have our jobs, and a lot of the stuff that goes on at the city is really just procedural, kind of, regular business stuff. We pay our bills, and we answer phones, and we do this, right? And so, but what you'll get from me is that you're never going to get a political spin. And I would be happy to come and tell you about new stuff we're doing, and because it's important that the general public hears even of those small things that we're doing. Like, for example, we have this group of people who repair sewer mains on a regular basis. They repair just the smallest things that are connecting your house to the sewer system or your house to the water system. And we all take that so for granted that yes, when we turn on the faucet, we're going to have water, or when we flush the toilet, stuff's going to go where it needs to go. And yet there are people out there, city employees, who are out there every day, digging stuff up and repairing things and making sure it's all functioning. And so there's nothing more I like than to toot their horns.
Yes. Sludge gulper. Look it up.
Ew, no, don't look it up.
Don't look it up. But no, it's really nice that you don't have to think about that stuff because it's being taken care of,
Yes.
which really reflects great credit upon the city employees.
And so I will say, if you have something that's not getting taken care of, or something you want to talk about that you think the city should be doing, or anything along those lines that are city or county related, please reach out, because I like to talk to people, and I will always say to you, I don't know the answer. I'll find out. I do my best to get the answers for you within the next couple of days.
She doesn't go for the bluff. She will say, I don't know. Let me find out. How would someone contact you? What is the best way?
So you can email me at the city email address, which is just kong at, now I'm going to get this wrong, cityofbishop.ca.gov, I think. Or maybe it's gov.ca. We just changed it, so I apologize.
It's true.
We literally just changed it. Or you can call my cell phone, which is 760-920-8165. Or text. That's probably the best way, because I can respond wherever I am. I sat down yesterday with someone who lives in the city of Bishop to talk about stuff. So I'm more than happy to do that.
Awesome. Mayor Kong, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And if it wasn't for copyright laws, we would play Art Carney's Song of the Sewer right now. But
No,
no.
let's not do that.
It's a good song.
Is it a good song?
It is a good
Okay.
song. This is Jimmy D with Island Inyo, the amazing Mayor Kong, Bishop City Council. Stay in touch, and go to the meetings or watch them.
For the story from Stan's point of view, he sees this kid whose life is about to go down the drain. It's going to become a permanent federal inmate. And there's something about the boy that he recognizes as he says all the time, he's a good kid.
Don't you right?
He takes the boy under his wing and straightens his life out. This is a story about someone who, they're practicing it through good works, if you like, or good deeds. It's not preachy in that sense.
You don't belong here, Nate. We're gonna get you out. Do you have any family I can call?
As someone who was raised a Catholic and has had all that stuff spoon-fed down me from the age of 7, I actually find him a very attractive character because he doesn't, and he just does it.
Deputy Harris? Darrell Booth. Hope you like flying. I never flew a fugitive before.
Government witness, not a fugitive.
Ready to go?
Is it always this bumpy?
You get used to it. Moretti is very disappointed in you, and he wants you dead.
Oh, shit.
Mayday, mayday. We've been compromised. Tell me how to fly this thing.
Pay attention. That's the good part.
Damn it!
I'm gonna enjoy this. You ever see a face turn this color before? Huh? I'm gonna tear you apart. Y'all need a pilot?
Flight Risk. Only in theaters January 24th.